Howdy folks, it is approximately 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on May the 25th, 2022. Hope our Kurt is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms so we can let people know what's going on out in our solar system. And if you happen to be new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell in case we have any critical future updates. Well, last night, we had a really good eruption. Last night I actually showed this. Last night, come off the backside of the sun. This is one of the largest eruptions I've ever seen with plasma accompanying it, and it was massive. So I do absolutely recommend you guys watch my previous video, and we can actually see it when it comes out. You can actually see the twisting. It actually twists out like a vortex, and it reminds me of like a bullet coming out of a gun. How it just has that spiral. I mean, it just rotates around and it throws so much plasma out into space. Luckily, it was on the backside. If it was Earth facing, it would be lights out. We're gonna come over here to LASCO C2 and C3 on spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov, and this is the first one we're going to look at here on LASCO C2, and we're actually going to see that eruption right here, right now. And here's that eruption here coming off the backside of the sun. Pardon me. And of course, we had a little friend right here, but that wasn't the only eruption. There's actually been quite a few eruptions. There's another one going off the bottom side towards. Now this was on the backside of the sun, coming out the bottom there. Oh, looks like we got right here. Looks like we got a Borg cube. And then we had another one right off that same area. And not done yet. Got another one right there coming off the backside. Look at that. Like, what in the fragnog? There's so much that's happening. Now look at that. Do you guys see that time? See, notice that glow difference like that? That's a difference of 10 minutes. What in the heck happened in 10 minutes that just made it do that? I don't know. But something's a little hinky with that. Especially since every other frame before that is a 12-minute interval. Then all of a sudden you get a 10-minute shot and there's a big glare difference. I don't know about that. Over here on LASCO C3, we can clearly see we've got some kind of... are these all Tic Tacs? I don't know. It looks like a bunch of Tic Tacs to me. But as we kind of scrolling through, we'll see our first eruption there. Then our second one's coming up right there. Then our third... and our fourth comes up there. It is right there. Lots of explosions, and that's all going on the backside of the sun. But let's go take a look at some other stuff. And we jump over here to spaceweatherlive.com. Actually, looks like we just had an M1.34. We're going to go check that out here in a minute. But first, we're going to take a look at ISWA. And we're going to see this is the flare that popped off last night. As you can see, it is quite dense. And this is the one that fired off of the backside. They haven't got all the other ones on there. This is just the one that fired off the backside. They haven't calculated all the rest of them. But yep, this is actually named Enlil, which is the Anunnaki Sumerian wannabe god. Okay, Enlil. Same, just like Enki, Anu, Enlil. Yes, the very same. We're going to jump back over here to spaceweatherlive.com, or Space Weather Prediction Center. We're going to take a look at our absorption here from that M flare. Oh, hey, where'd you go? Alright, here we go. We got it finally loaded up. And let's zoom in down and see where about we had that Lambo at. Where we got lambasted. Was that it? Oh, there it is. I was say we're right straight. I mean, literally centered up perfect over the United States. I don't think you can get any better than that. Looks like we took about 25 to 26 decibels of a flare, and it's actually kind of a, I mean, it comes up quick and then it's kind of slowly dies down. So we definitely got some plasma with that. Let's take a look at it here on spaceweatherlive.com. We're going to take a look at our solar flares, and we can see that we definitely had a decent one. Yep, M1.34 was the peak. Well, let's go see what we got as far as plasma goes. I'm going to come over here to Space Weather Prediction Center, and we're going to go to Go Solar Ultraviolet Imager, SUVI. And we're going to scroll on down here. We're going to see what kind of a solar tsunami we might have with this thing, because I have a feeling that we did have one. Alright, let's see where it come off of. Whoa, right here. Yeah, buddy. This is area active region 3014. And as we can see, this is a decent eruption. Look at how it blasts open the coronal holes. Look at it before. There was no coronal hole extended up here or down here. And the force from it opened that coronal hole right up. Look at that. Just made it a monster. And of course we have a solar tsunami with it. And when it's Earth facing like that, you know we've got plasma inbound. Yes, folks. Let's see. And that's as far as that goes, but that's a pretty nasty one. Let's go check it out on the 304 on the goes. Let's see what we got here. All right, here we are on the goes. Oh, let's scroll up here. Let's take a look in that region. Oh, come on, back it up there. Yep, look at that. We got a nice little snake rippling through there. And you can see the plasma. Let me bring this down. You can definitely see the plasma. Folks, that is Earth facing. That is Earth directed. We are going to get some of that. In fact, you can actually see right up in here, you can see where it starts to turn a little bit darker. Right there, that's coming right at us, right there. Now, this is not as large as the one last night, okay? This is just a little M flare. Well, it's on the smaller side of an M flare. An M flare is still a decent flare, but there's tons of plasma coming off on the bottom side. But this area here is coming at us, as we can clearly see. We're going to have to take a look at the 304 on the SDO, and because it'll show a little bit more of the density. And of course, we had an eruption going off over here as well. I'm not seeing anything else. There was some activity, but nothing else besides that. I'm not seeing any other movements. So let's go take a look. I got it loading up right now. It's going to take a minute. So we're going to come over here to European Space Agency, and we're going to take a look here at what we got. This looks like they've got us showing plasma coming in to get us right here. Looks like it's going to hit us on the 26th is when it's going to start upticking, and then we are going to jump up to the, yeah, it's going to be on the 26th when it peaks out on us. Around 1800 is when it begins, and then at 2200 UTC time is when we'll have about 50 centimeters cubed. So, and then we come back down. So I'm wondering, where did that one even come from, that eruption? I'm not sure. I'm wondering if they're hiding something. I mean, we do have solar winds. Yeah, okay, that could be the solar wind impact we're looking at right here from that coronal hole. If you guys remember me showing you that one explosion, the filament release that was going to blend in with the coronal hole. Remember I told you it would be more of a dense coronal hole impact from our solar winds? That's pretty much what that is. It hasn't even taken into account yet or caught up to the eruption. And while the SDO is still loading, we're actually going to take a look here on seeds. This is near real-time data, and this is our explosion from last night, so we can see it in the reverse ink filter as well. And that's the last frame, so we're actually going to have to go to the next day to get anything else out of it, which is today. What do we got? 4 there so far? Alright, hold on. This is the one that happened technically yesterday. There was 1. That's a decent sized one. Man, look at all. What in the world? Look at how this is like perfectly round here. You guys see that? It's almost perfectly round. Like, what in the world is that? So there's 1. That's some weird shadow games going on there. 2 out the bottom. 3. Look at this. It's like what is the sun doing? Smoking a cigar and then blowing smoke rings? Like, look at that. What in the world is that? So that's 3. There's 4. Whoa, you guys see that? There's something here that's not moving. Look at this. You guys see that? It's just not moving. It's on camera. I'm wondering if this is that space station. Look it's right here too. I'm wondering if this might be that space station. I don't know. That's just kind of weird how it just kind of hung out there. That's weird, folks. And once again, it looks like things are flying into the sun right here. Looks like something's going back into the sun. I don't know, some weird stuff, folks. Let's go take a look at it from stereo ahead. And let's see what they've got so far for us today. Yep, a lot of that is on the backside. Now remember, we're Earth facing is over here. We're over here. So it's not showing the most recent eruption that's Earth facing. This is all from previous, so not coming right at us just yet. Okay, and here we are over at ISWA to look at the 304. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy off back here at the beginning. Shrink it down just a wee bit so we can get the timestamps in there. And let's go ahead and start watching. We're going to see an eruption on the lower left side. Right there. That come off again. This come off the back side. You guys can see that. That was a decent eruption. That's a decent eruption. Plasma thrown out. Now we're actually going to watch right over here. And this, now did you see that? See that shake? That's a satellite being impacted with those solar winds from that coronal hole. Okay, it's finally catching up. It came around, whoosh, where it's affecting the satellite. So now we're going to zoom in right over here, and we're going to see this shortly after that. It's going to start erupting here any second here. I'm going slowly. Here we go. Now, the first thing you can notice, you can actually notice the eruption right here happening. That's an immediate filament release. And as that filament starts to release, the flare pops. We can see the solar tsunami. And we can see extra ejecti right here coming out. And then, yep, right here. Look at this big dark band. And that is coming our direction. That's what's coming at us. And that's about as far as it goes right there. So we do have Earth incoming. That is inbound coronal mass ejection. Kind of hard to tell exactly how dense it is. I don't think it's super dense, but it's going to be dense enough where we're going to get some solar storm activities when it impacts. Alrighty. So keep your eyes open. No fear. Remember that love is the only way forward. Solar Wolf out.